Hello, hi, I'm Cryptic Hybrid and this is the Arsonist. Now, the Arsonist is a survival thriller visual novel mix that's in development right now. It has a demo out on INDIEGAME. It looks really interesting. It's more about, what choices you make in order to make sure that you survive. So let's check it out together. This is the Arsonist. My biggest fear is death. It's not something I think about all the time. I don't obsess or worry about it too much. It's just something that's always been there, this intense desire to stay alive at all costs. Even at the cost of other people. Everyone's afraid of death. If someone tells you they aren't, they're lying. Some people are more resigned perhaps than others, but it's built into our code. We want to stay alive. There's no shame in it. Everyone fights to stay alive. But there comes a time when what it takes to stay alive doesn't match up with what society expects from us as citizens. The lows we're willing to stoop to, what things we'll do in order to stay alive. Well, not everyone can accept people like us back with open arms. Some call them cowards. Some call them prostitutes. Some call them liars, murderers, or thieves. I call them survivors. This is my story. It's not nice or necessarily kind. It might not cause warm fuzzies or inspire or motivate. It might sit heavily in the stomach. But in the end, it's my story. It happened, and I have to live with it. My biggest fear is dying, and this is how I survived. Chapter 1. You know this is illegal, right? We're walking through the forest at the edge of town. My friend Kinsley wanted to come out and watch her friend with benefits, Pierce, do some tagging at the old train yard. Personally, I think it's a dumb idea and rife with getting caught and or getting arrested, but Kinsley and I have a unique relationship. She brings out the fun in me and I save her from getting into bad scrapes. Don't be such a downer, Pierce said he wouldn't get caught. This Pierce guy, he's a bad scrape I'm trying to save her from. But he can't control that. Seriously, Kins, why are you even hanging out with him? You know he's bad news. You can't think he's going to commit. I told you, Em. Don't be a downer. Pierce might be a little rough around the edges, but he's a good guy. You'll see when you meet him. He cares about me. I know he does. He's just bad with emotions and it's taking some time for him to admit it. Sometimes Kinley makes me want to scream. She says the same thing every time and I try to bring this up. She's told me a lot about Pierce. In fact, most of the times it's just Pierce this and Pierce that. I'm sick of it. I want Kinsley to love and be happy, to find love and be happy, but it's hard watching her follow her heart when I know that in the end it's all going to crash and burn. Guys like Pierce don't stick around, but they usually don't leave until they've gotten what they want either. In Kinsley's case, I'm pretty sure that what Pierce wants is her money. Kinsley is from a family that lives in the wealthiest, most expensive neighborhood within Brayton city limits. Only the rich and privileged live there. Pierce, on the other hand, lives in the government-subsidized housing with his aunt. That's not the problem, though. The problem is that his cousin used to live with them. He was recently convicted in an aggravated assault on his pregnant girlfriend and is currently in county. That kind of thing isn't healthy to grow up with, and from what I've heard, Pierce is proving no different than his cousin so far. All of these are huge red flags for anyone with half a brain. I'm not trying to call Kinsley dumb, but she's naive and sheltered. She doesn't always have the clearest thinking when it comes to things she wants, and she wants Pierce. So I'm left to try to salvage the situation. Kinsley is a wonderful friend most of the time. She brings out the fun in me, that leftover innocence of childhood where I'm free to just have a good time and enjoy myself. She's cheerful and kind and she has a way of lighting up the room. But with this sweetness comes immaturity, and with her big fat inheritance when she turns 21, she's blood in the water for sharks like Pierce. We reached the train yard faster than I would have liked, walking silently in the rest of the way. It's dark, but the moon is full and bright, and the train yard still has working lights, so we can see all right. Kinsley spots Pierce and waves. "Pierce, over here!" Pierce jerks around aggressively, brandishing something in his hand that briefly catches the light of the moon before identifying us and straightening up. The glint in silver disappears, and he waves cheerfully with his other hand. "Hey there, didn't recognize you at first." Kinsley doesn't seem to have noticed that Pierce had waved a weapon at us instead hurrying over to hug him. I follow behind at a more sedate pace. I'm not happy to be here the way she is. Pierce glances at me when I catch up, then turns to Kinsley. "You didn't mention you were bringing a friend, Kins. Why don't you introduce us?" "Pierce, this is my friend M. M, this is Pierce, the guy I've been telling you about." "Only good things, I hope." "Of course." He wishes. I'm lying straight through my teeth. All I've ever heard regarding Pierce has been red flag upon red flag. Blood, water, and sharks. "Well, nice to meet you, Em. Hope I can live up to the hype." He's definitely got the charm down, and despite my misgivings, he's not bad to look at either. I can understand better now why Kinsley got so wrapped up with him. It doesn't change my opinion of the situation, but now I get it. "So, is this a train where you're going to do all the artwork tonight?" "Yeah, all trains like this are really popular, so I'm surprised there's still some room left here." Pierce shows Kinsley how to shake the spray cans properly, pontificates a little, and then finally starts painting. I'm surprised and impressed against my will as I watch him spray large, sweeping swaths of black, silver, and neon blue paint without a single mistake. He makes it look easy. Flawlessly executed curves, lines straight as a ruler. I have to admit that Pierce knows his stuff. Kinsley oohs and ahs appreciatively, but I'm quiet. Pierce has turned this into something of a performance, and I know it's not for me. I know when to back off. I'm still watching silently when I smell smoke. "Hey guys, do you smell that?" "No, what are you talking about?" "I think there's something burning around here." It's hard to say, it feels like there's a lump in my throat. It's fear. Maybe it's an irrational reaction to most, but it's not to me. "I think it might be the Arsonist." I force the words out of my throat like they're sticky, wanting to stay nestled inside me without ever escaping. It's the opposite of what I feel right now. I want to start running and never look back. My dad died in a fire when I was only 11. It burned down our entire home, and he died after going to save my little sister, who was only 2 at the time. She got out with only a few superficial burns, though they hospitalized her because she was so young. But my dad, he didn't make it. I still remember the sight of him, half burnt to hell, one side of his face charred and all his hair missing. He had shielded Katie from the flames with his whole body, and it showed with the severe burns. They tried to save him, but in the end, I think he was better off dead after that. It's a strange thought for someone like me to have, someone who so fears death, but I think in this case it's true. Recovery would have been slow, excruciating, and maybe not worth it. "You don't mean that?" "Of course he doesn't." I grit my teeth and get ready to chew him out, but Pierce interrupts what I was going to say. "Have you read up on this guy? Yeah, he's scary as hell, and it's terrifying that the cops haven't caught him yet, but he's not going to attack a place like this. He's done enough for that already." "How do you know?" "Well, they're saying now that he started out in the poor neighborhoods. Back in July, a bunch of people were filing insurance claims for fires, and some homeless people were found burned to death. They're saying that it was him, not insurance fraud or accidental death. And all that was months ago. Just last week he torched a Walmart, killed 50 people. You think he's going to suddenly settle for an empty train yard? That's de-escalation. That's not how guys like him work." I'm annoyed and I'm impressed by Pierce's knowledge of the situation. I did do a little research on the elusive arsonist, whose face no one's ever seen. Now that I've heard what Pierce had to say, I think he might be right. The hair on my back, the back on my neck doesn't go down though. Even if it isn't the arsonist, there's still a fire nearby and the forest is dry at this time of year. It's also surrounding us. It's probably just a homeless guy trying to warm up. It's getting pretty cold these days. Yeah, it is. I wish I'd brought my heavy jacket. Kinsley is noticeably shivering. Pierce drapes an arm around her shoulders. Why don't you warm up a little art? Why don't you warm up by doing a little art of your own? You can use some of my space, I don't care. She looks starstruck and turns to him with wide eyes, smiling beatifically. You really let me? Pierce shrugs. Sure, no skin off my back. I'm not even a good artist. When I realize she's actually going to do this, actually going to break the law to impress her crappy never boyfriend, I know I have to stop her. Kinsley, you're not serious. She turns to me, scowling. Why not? It's not like anything bad is going to happen. Peter said it, nobody comes around here anymore. We're not going to get caught. Still... Come on, let her have a little fun, don't be a spoilsport. Really, Em? It's not a big deal, like I said earlier, you can always head back to the car. There's no way I'm going to leave bad boy Pierce and newly criminal Kinsley alone together. I sigh and accept the stupidity. Fine, but please don't take too long, I want to get out of here. Kinsley sighs in exasperation and Pierce pointedly ignores me, but they confer quickly with each other. After Kinsley decides on what she wants to tag, I know I have to sit back and hope nothing worse happens than this. Kinsley starts and she's right, she's not very good. Her lines are uneven, probably from inexperience with this medium, and her paint is dripping. No, like this, babe. Of course, he steps up right behind her, pressing his body against hers and guiding her hand to create what she envisions. I turn away, breathe deeply and smell more smoke. A cursory glance to the horizon shows an orange glow. Holy crap, guys, something's really on fire! What are you talking about? Pierce looks up to where I'm pointing and frowns. Yeah, maybe. Seems far enough though. Kens, you have enough time to finish if we hurry things up. Alright, I'll hurry. Together they finish up her little piece. Me, I'm itching away, ready to run at the slightest provocation. I think Pierce is an idiot for not immediately turning tail at the sight of a big fire big enough to glow, but Kinsley won't leave without him. Hey, looks good! He's examining Kinsley's art. It doesn't really look good, especially right beneath Pierce's nearly professional work. Of course, neither of us are going to tell her that. She's done better than I would have, most likely. Hey, you don't mean that. It looks terrible compared to yours. Well, I've had a lot of practice, babe. For your level of experience, that's really good. Kinsley looks at him and bats her eyelashes teasingly. Pierce smirks. Maybe I need to get more experience then. No, you don't. Come on, we're done. Stop flirting and let's go. I get as far away from the train as I can without entirely leaving them behind and wait. Maybe a good friend would stay nearby to help. But I'm terrified already and just want to get out of here. Maybe I'm not a good friend. All I know is I'm not going to die here, as unlikely as it is. Pierce gathers up his stuff and puts it away, and within a few minutes we're heading out. I realize that being behind the cover of the train car protected us from a lot of smoke. It's searing my nostrils now. I think we should probably start running. Come on, let's go! Kinsley and Pierce nod, but at the moment all three of us are thrown forward as the train car behind us explodes. I have good instincts and throw myself to the ground within half a second of the first sound of screeching metal. Kinsley trips and ends up okay, but Pierce doesn't move fast enough and is hit by big pieces of shrapnel. Ugh. Holy crap, Pierce, are you okay? Kinsley crawls to him to assess the damage while I turn on my back and check my ankle. It twanged painfully as I landed. I must have twisted when I threw myself to the ground. I can feel it throbbing painfully, but I've always had a good pain tolerance. I'll be able to make it out here with a bad ankle because there's no other choice. I'm not going to die here, I'm not. He's bleeding really badly, we have to help him. I look Pierce over quickly. He's passed out, blood seeping from his ragged torn back. His shirt is burned to his skin where the shrapnel hadn't caught back yet. Kinsley's covered in blood and I can see why. I don't dare to look, but I'm pretty sure I have Pierce's blood on me too. There's nothing we can do to save Pierce. If there's anything anyone can do, if we get caught in the fire, we'll all die. We have to get out of here ourselves if we want to have any hope of saving him. Kinsley, there's nothing we can do for him right now. I need you to listen to me. If we want to save Pierce, we have to get out of here and get help. Let's go. I think Pierce was wrong. I think the arsonist is here and we have to get the hell away. Someone say my name? The deep voice freezes me and my stomach goes heavy with dread. I feel sick to my stomach and like I'm going to choke. I'm going to throw up or cry or scream, but I don't know which, and I hope none of them happen. I need to keep a cool head. We have to get out of here. Kinsley, forget about him. I keep my voice a low hiss only for Kinsley's ears, but the sound of crunching grass and heavy booted footsteps tells me we're not going anywhere fast. How can you say that? At the realization of imminent death approaching, I feel a strange numbness overcome me. It's like the fear disappears without a trace, and I'm left thinking only analytically and logically with one goal only: stay alive. The only thing I care about is surviving. There's no room for anything or anyone else in my head. You're not already dead? Huh, that's new. I never had witnesses before. Some dumb part of me wants to point out that we wouldn't be witnesses if he hadn't presented himself to us. We wouldn't even know it was really him setting the fires, just our own speculation, but saying that might be the last thing I ever do. I keep my mouth firmly shut, my jaw clenching painfully. And then, for the first time since he started burning Brayton to Kingdom Come, the arsonist reveals his face to his victims. I stare at him in abject horror, just as Kinsley does. In the chilling silence, all I can hear is Pierce's rattling breath. He sounds barely alive. That cold part of my mind keeps processing, even though my paralyzing fear. I can't bring Pierce along. I'm not sacrificing my life trying to help an injured man. I don't even like to safety when the odds of escape are so low already. I'm not going to end up like my dad. I think I can get Kinsley to come with me though. Please don't hurt us. The arsonist seems completely unimpressed. Kinsley's already started crying. Strangely, I haven't ever felt further away from it. Witnesses are our liability. Can't let you live. Sorry. He sure doesn't sound sorry. I'll have to do my best to convince him. We won't tell anyone, we promise. Just let us go. You have my word. We won't say anything if you'll just let us live, please. What an absolute lie. If I can get any kind of description of the arsonist, anything to catch him, that would save hundreds of lives. Even better, there's a reward for any information leading to his arrest. Last time I checked, it was pretty high too. Unfortunately, the arsonist isn't stupid. Huh, that's a lie. Nice try though, convincing performance. I'd give you a 4 out of 5 stars. Now don't move. I'll be right back. I don't know why I expected him to believe me, but hope springs in my chest as I realize he's going to get something to kill us. Apparently, he has no interest in doing it with his bare hands. That's good. It gives us some time to get out of here. I wait until he's far enough and then turn to Kinsley, who's crying silently, chest heaving with sobs, as she clings to Pierce like his body can comfort her. Come on, Kins, now's our chance to get out of here. I won't leave Pierce. She sounds broken, her voice isn't right, it's too flat. She hasn't gone into some kind of zone like I have, where everything is crystal clear and I can almost see the choices I'll have to make to survive. I have the will to follow through on those choices, regardless of consequences. But I don't think she's on the same page. I'm going to have to try to reason with her, break her out of the weird place she's in. Kinsley, he's unconscious and hurt. There's nothing we can do to help him now. The only people we can help are ourselves. Kinsley clings harder to her next word, clings harder and her next words are low, mumbled. I won't leave him. I'm starting to get frustrated. Pierce is half dead already. Kinsley, you have to. He's too injured. We can't get him out of here by ourselves. Come on, we'll get him help. We just have to get out of here first. No. Her response blows me away. No? I don't want to leave her behind to die, but I don't want to risk dying myself either. I know I only have one option left. Ooh, I'll have to convince her to come no matter what, or I can help her if I can't help her if she won't come. It won't help herself. I have to get out of here. Okay, let's save. And I guess we have to make a choice. I mean, I don't know how long the Arsonist is gonna be, and I mean, M is a survivor, so you know what? Screw it. If she wants to stay with her wannabe boyfriend, who's gonna die anyway, I'm out. This might be one of the worst things I've ever done, but I have to get away. I have to get out away, and I can't waste any time. That cold, clear logic is telling me that Kinsley isn't going anywhere. I wonder if I'll regret leaving her more than I'll be glad to stay alive. The thought is brief. I'm going to stay alive regardless of anyone else. I know that living is my one and only goal. Right now, nothing matters to me more than that, not even Kinsley's life. Alright, I love you, Kins. I hope maybe I'll see you on the other side of this, but I'm leaving. I'm not going to die here. At this, she comes back to herself a little and finally looks up to me. At me. You're going to leave me? My ankle is twisted. I can't drag you along if you're not going to come willingly. Will you? She just buries her face into Pierce's bloody back. Okay, goodbye, Kinsley. She doesn't respond, not even a mumble. I can't bring myself to care. I shakily get out on my feet, testing out my bad foot. It hurts a ton and there's no way I can run on it, but I can probably manage a brisk walk. I start to walk away. It turns out I'm reduced to hobbling. I limp along as fast as I can, noting that the orange glow from behind the train has now spread further. In the end, I do manage a run fueled by pure adrenaline after I realize that the entire forest is going to burn down sooner rather than later. That's probably why the Arsonist wasn't worried about us running off while he was gone. There's not going to be an escape soon. But then, how is he going to get out? All I can do is my best. I'll make it out of here. Somehow. My determination to live makes me move a little faster despite the wobbliness of my ankle and the stabbing pain shooting up my calf from the abuse. The forest looms ahead and it looks like the path to my car is still clear. I'll probably need to be treated for smoke inhalation along with the ankle. It's getting pretty heavy with the wind blowing my way. Almost there. As I reach the edge of the forest, I hear a terrible scream. I whip around, already knowing what I'm going to see. I'm both desperate and unwilling to witness it. I can't look away. My eyes find Kinsley and Pierce just as they go up in flames. I can't turn away as I listen to Kinsley's agonizing screams. At some point I think Pierce starts to move a little too, though I'm too far away to tell. He's lucky if he's still unconscious. My stomach sits in my body like lead. I left them to die. It makes me feel cold and sharp inside like a jagged shard of glass. But I have to move on. Whether it's the Force or the Arsonist, my life is still in danger. I don't want to have left them behind and still end up dead. I get pretty far into the forest. Somehow the air is cleaner here. I stumble along in the dark. I wish I brought my cell phone, if only for its flashlight. It wouldn't have helped with the Arsonist though. My footsteps sound interminably loud as I make my way back to my car, which Kinsley and I took to get here. It's my only way out. I'm so focused on escape that everything else seems to elude my notice, including the approaching footsteps overtaking me. Here you are. You got pretty far, didn't you? Almost got away. I shriek and stumble forward to get away, but the Arsonist catches under my arm, under the armpits and hoists me back. I trash like Kinsley, mind-numbing terror overwhelming me. I have to get away. I have to get away. The Arsonist is unfazed. It's fine. I'm not gonna kill you. We're gonna get out of here in your dinky little car. Shocked, my struggles come to a stop almost immediately. It doesn't matter that he somehow knows that my car is old, as he said, dinky. What matters is that he said he wouldn't kill me, and the word we. We? I like you. I can only turn my head and stare at him, mouth agape, I guess, and disbelieving. What does that even mean, and why on earth would he say it? I'm disgusted and repulsed. This guy is crazy. What? He just shrugs. You're pretty ruthless, right? Left your friends to die so you could get away. You wouldn't have made it far with them, so you ditch them. I like that. I like that a lot, so I'm going to let you live. I can hardly believe him. I'm stunned into silence, just staring at him dumbly. Alright, your car's that way, so let's go. Give me your keys. Don't play coy, sweetheart. Give me the keys. I hesitate. I don't want to be anywhere near him for even a second longer, but my car is the only way out of here. The forest is burning slowly, and Kinsley and Pierce are dead. I'm alone with a mass murderer. His eyes narrow in irritation, and without further thought, I fumble my car keys out of my pocket. There we go, not so hard, huh? With the arsonist hauling me around, we make it to the car much more quickly than I would have on my own. When we get there, he drops me unceremoniously on the ground. The crunchy gravel doesn't hurt at all. My body feels completely numb. The arsonist starts the car before unlocking the back door and hoisting me all over again, indicating I go inside. Come on, in you go. I must take too long to react because next thing I know, I'm shoved roughly into the back seat and the door is slammed loudly behind me. I struggle to sit up tight, but end up laying sprawled across the bench. The arsonist gets in the car and turns on the road back in the direction of the city. I'm briefly surprised he isn't staying on the outskirts of Brayton, but we head steadily towards downtown. I'm strangely tired of for the situation. Maybe it's the overexertion and the pain. Maybe it's the fatigue of the adrenaline wearing off. Despite not knowing what the arsonist's plans are for me, despite not trusting his word, despite knowing I might never wake up, I pass out. I wake up on a hard surface covered by a thin, scratchy blanket. The first thing I notice is my ankle throbbing with pain. My mind blanks in terror for a moment as I recall everything that happened in the train yard. My eyes shoot open without thought, and I find myself in a dimly lit room. I don't recognize it at all. Where the hell am I? Come on. To be continued in chapter 2. Alright, so everyone, that was the first chapter of The Arsonist. If you want to check it out yourself, if you want to check out the game yourself, well, this demo version of yourself, and I guess try out, the other option. Try to maybe stay back with Kinsley and see what happens. If you make that choice, then you can download the demo for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Just see the link in the description below. Now, the demo is available for free, but you can also support the game's development with by giving a little tip, $1, $2, $3, $5, however much you like, because that's one option that itch.io gives. So yeah, check out The Arsonist on itch.io right now. Thanks so much everyone for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up right quick. And if you like what I do here, consider subscribing. I'm on YouTube, I'm on BitChute, I'm on DTube, so whichever platform you prefer, go there, subscribe, check out the back catalog, discover tons and tons of cool games that I cover, and after that, take just half a minute to see the ways through which you can support me. They're all in the description below. You can either give me a direct donation through PayPal, or if you don't have disposable income to give me like that, that's fine. You can support me with the purchases that you make on the Epic Games Store, the Humble Store, Fanatical. All you have to do in those cases is either use an affiliate link or a creator tag. It costs you absolutely nothing extra. You don't pay more for the stuff that you buy. You just tell that store to send me a small percentage of the money you spend there. So it's a very small thing that you can do. Just go do your game shopping. Think of me. Use those links and pitch in to help me survive and continue doing this for a long time. Now, another great way to support me financially without actually having to pay anything, without taking anything out of pocket, is to try out the Brave browser. Now, the Brave browser is an open source, privacy focused browser that's based on Chromium. It has a built-in ad blocker, it blocks trackers. It's really cool if you care about your security, especially if you care about the data that's being practically stolen from you as you surf the net. Try out the Brave browser, because it's gonna keep that more of your information locally and out of the hands of all sorts of corporations that take that data, monetize it, make tons of money, and don't give you anything or much in return. So try it out, download it to the referral link in the description, install it. If you end up using it for at least a month, then I will get a small crypto reward from the Brave software team. Now, if you already use the Brave browser, you can tip me on any video of mine on YouTube or on any post that I make on Twitter at Cryptic Hybrid. Follow me there. You can tip me basic attention tokens that you get by seeing non-intrusive ads served by the browser. So check that out. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This has been the Arsonist. Hopefully we get to see, chapter 2 soon, because I want to see what the heck happened with M and the Arsonist, because somehow something tells me that he's just not gonna let her go like that. So we'll see. For now, check out the demo. Thanks so much for watching, and until the next time we see each other, thank you and have an awesome day.